and they were not really that clear, but you felt something in your heart, right? So maybe things were said or things happened, they weren't really crystal clear that they're interested in you, or they committed to you, or they're devoting themselves to you, but you felt something so strongly within you that you sort of fill out the gaps, and you created those expectations. It's something we're being asked to do very strongly on this journey, to release expectations, not to have faith. Yes, have faith that what we feel is real, that what we experiencing is real, and it's beautiful, it's important, it's destined, but not have expectations in the physical world. Okay, let's do this as well, just to close your 2025. Yeah, okay, so we have cheetah and we have the elk. These are my two, there are a couple of cards in this deck that they do represent masculine energy, but the different elements of the masculine energy. There's still the horse. So elk is that, you know, the divine masculine energy, sort of the one that is the protector, the provider, that creates structure, and the cheetah is the go-getter, is the chaser. But they both represent the masculine energy, but they are in your energy. So you would be sitting until this day in your masculine energy. You would be chasing this person, you would be chasing things, even energetically, chasing things that you want. You would be the one that would be trying to create some sort of a structure into this connection, to push some sort of a commitment into this connection, which is not how it's supposed to look like. And we have the hummingbird. You know what I was hearing with this hummingbird? Remember how I said to you that I feel like you're a very charismatic and a joyful person, right? And it's sort of the situation brought something different out of you, something unknown even to you. Like maybe many times you were acting in a way like, what is this person taking out of me? But it's not this person, remember. It's not this person. They're awakening things that need to awaken, that were dormant. Wounds of the lineage. Past traumas that need to be healed. But right now I'm hearing, because I'm seeing this in reverse. So like I'm hearing like the joy was taken away from you. It wouldn't be the most joyful year. But the cobra is actually a good sign, because Cobra is a teacher. Cobra is that energy when the student is ready. And we have that high priestess. You are being guided. You are ready. I'm hearing you are ready. You are ready to start your journey. Whether it's going to be, you're going to be guided by your higher self, or you're going to find an actual teacher who will guide you through this journey, a mentor. We're going to tap into that in a moment, as we're going to tap into your next year. But I feel like at the end, so at the final stages, maybe recent months, final stages of this year, you would feel like you're ready to learn. Like you're ready to embark on this journey. It would make sense. All right, let's close this year. Let's close this year. And let's start from 2026. We're gonna do, just if you watched my previous videos, we're gonna focus on guidance. We're gonna focus on what is it that your guides are calling you to really embrace, really do. Maybe some predictions will come forth, and I do want to do a month of January. If we have the time, we're going to do month of January for this collective. Yeah, I was onto something. I'm thinking what tarot deck should we use for the... I'll think about it in a sec. One more. Okay, we have Reflect. That's your first card. So definitely this next year is calling for reflection. May you discern and distill. It's calling for reflection. It's calling for looking inwards as well. I'm hearing it's calling to reflection on who you are, where you're going, where you come from, meaning of life, deep reflection. I'm hearing. We have joy. May you pursue what lightens you up. And that's what I'm hearing with this hummingbird. Sorry. Your voice that was taken away from you. I feel like you are a very joyful person. Very, I don't know, I'm hearing giddy, but very sparkly. Maybe your laughter is contagious. Maybe you love to laugh. Maybe, I don't know why I'm seeing someone who's like petite, but it may be a detail for some of you that you are petite, but someone who is very like loves to laugh and it's always smiling and brings this like lightens up the room. And I feel like it was taken away from you this past year, and they wanting you to restore it. There is a lot of darkness on this journey that we have to face. There is a lot of darkness within us that we have to face. There is no light without darkness. But this journey isn't about fear, darkness, and about allowing darkness to overwhelm us, but about conquering our darkness, navigating through our darkness, us being the light. So restore that joy, be that joy. Find things that still make you laugh, despite the pain, despite the... This journey in the beginning is very, very deep pain. We lose ourselves. We get broken into million pieces. We face everything that we fear most. We start this journey of remembrance, and we're dreaming and remembering horrible things that happened to us in past lives, but it's for a purpose. To really reach certain levels of consciousness and to tap into your power, you have to understand certain things. That meaning of life, and part of life is darkness. But it doesn't mean that we cannot, laugh and be joyful. It's coming to my mind, I don't know why, but you know how sometimes when we talk about history and times of wars and oppression, the people will always find a way to like celebrate, to like drink in the basements, to like have fun and laugh at things. Life cannot only be darkness. There's always light inside of us, and we just have to allow it to power through. And we have forgive as well. So maybe there are certain connections in your life that caused friction in the past, and you're going to be asked to find forgiveness within this next year. I always say this: there is no divine feminine without compassion and without forgiveness. We are the embodiment of that. It's our role to teach that to this world. Christ consciousness. And we have beauty. I feel like more this beauty goes with this joy, seeing the beauty in this world, appreciating the beauty in this world within you. No matter what happens, we can always laugh. Soulmates. The sacred one, you guys, this is so weird. If you have watched my previous readings that I did, I think I did for 2 or 3 collectives. At least 2 collectives had the sacred woman card in the exact same place. Second card that I pulled. I have 1 powerful collectives, and I'm so grateful that I get to read your energy every day. Oof, powerful. Two more. Okay. Okay. right, so we have soulmates. I was hearing soul tribe with this one, and I keep going back to that joy. I feel like next year is going to be opportunity for you to call in your soul tribe. So maybe you're going to be aligned with a couple of people. Maybe some of those people will be a mentor, a spiritual teacher, someone that will guide you through this journey. Maybe you will even get an opportunity to become friend with that person. You know, we create different kinds of relationships with our healers, and it's only normal and it's only natural, that sometimes, you know, you resonate so much with your healer that throughout the healing process you become friends. You create a bond that will last beyond just that period of healing, because it is a chapter and it has an end date. But maybe also in your life, when it comes to friendships, I feel like the more you're going to be you, the more you're going to be joyful, the more you're going to be reflecting on life, on the meaning of life, following that path. I feel you're going to be aligned, and you're going to be aligned with people that will make this journey a little bit easier for you. The Sacred Woman, you guys, this is such a powerful card. This is the Sacred Woman is my divine feminine who is linked to that path. So either psychic medium, shaman, medicine woman. I don't know why I'm hearing Akashic records, past life regressionist. So maybe that's there's a reason. We're going to tap into my oracle deck, because I'm really curious what's going to come out of there, because there are a couple of cards that suggest that. But that's what I heard. So maybe in future you're going to be, navigating through lifetimes and helping people to remember that keeper of Akashic records. I am hearing Metatron. So Metatron is the keeper of the Akashic record. So if you are connecting to him, if you are seeing him, if you are seeing signs related to Metatron, maybe he's calling you in. We have luminosity as well. This is the true energy of the divine feminine, that it came on top of the forgiveness. Remember what I was saying, compassion, forgiveness. We all different as divine feminines. We all have different mission. Yes, we all need to become embodiment of love, but some of us, we really carry, it comes with that lineage. We really carry the frequency of love and compassion, of that Christ consciousness, of really helping people and humanity to understand that without forgiveness, we're nobody. Without compassion, without seeing ourselves in another, we're just lost in this world. We're lost in our ego. And the more you stand in your power, the more you stand in that feminine glow, it comes from within out. People start to see it. People gravitate towards you because they feel that you have that compassion, that understanding. And I'm being guided to tell you, because sometimes my beautiful feminists, they get confused on this journey. Remember that the shinier you glow, you will pull in those who are ready for change, right? You will pull in those that are beautiful souls ready for change and ready for healing. But those that are beyond your capacity to help them, you're beyond your reach, beyond the reach of light, lost in this specific lifetime already, you will only irritate them. This is why we have to develop such a deep self-love and self-understanding, because we're going to be hated by many. Many people will like, oh my God, I cannot stand this woman, because we're going to be embodiment of love and truth and forgiveness and light. And if these are things that they're not embodying and they lost to this lifetime, they're beyond repair, right? You're going to irritate them. And remember, I always say this to you guys, I have content about this on my website as well, in my offerings. I offer a session that is about spiritual karma and physical karma, and there's a video about what it really means. So if you're not familiar with that concept, go ahead and watch that. But we all have a moment of window of opportunity, one moment in our lifetime when we can switch from physical karma to spiritual karma. For some people, is that awakening that you just went through. For some people, it's just that realization. Something happened and they start to think, I have to change things, I have to live my life differently, I have to reflect. And if they jump on board, they start to release karma and walk towards their dharma, right? Their spiritual karma. But many people don't do that. And life will give you a couple of opportunities before that window of opportunity closes, right? Usually it's 2 year cycle window of opportunity. For some, if it's really important, they're going to extend it to another cycle. They're going to get those 4 years, right? But if you're constantly refusing and refusing and refusing, you're not learning, you're not showing that learner's mindset that you already had, certain things and certain lessons will be lost to you in this lifetime. And those people, they will continue to change. We constantly change, but they will change into something bitter, something more shallow, something more lost, something more deprived of love. And those kind of people, ooh, boy, do we irritate them. So remember that. And we have life's purpose. So I feel like next year you're going to discover your life's purpose, right? So maybe this year you received certain signs and synchronicities, right? About that lineage, about that divination. You had certain things, visions, right? Of your highest, most aligned timeline that you're not yet making sense of them. You're not yet understanding. But I feel like next year you're really going to tap into. So at the end of the next year, you can save this video, very long time, but especially that we live in dog years on this journey. But at the end of next year, I promise you, you will know what you came here to do. Maybe you won't still, completely tap into your craft. Maybe you won't still be, working that mission and doing that mission. Maybe there will still be certain things that you need to clear out, and it's a complicated journey that we walk. But by next year, you will know. You will feel it. What's your mission? High level. All right, let's tap into, we're going to do the exact same spread, but for your 2026. So what's going to be the ruling energy of 2026? One more, but that's all right. These two came together. Oh no, we have more, but it's important. These came together, so it's something that you have to clear out. Yeah. Okay. It sort of makes sense. It doesn't surprise me. Okay, so you have intuition. That's your first card. So I feel like you're going to be activating your intuition next year. You're going to be tapping into your intuition. You're going to be learning how to differentiate the mind from the intuition. Our intuition is our map towards alignment. Yeah, so it's important. It's important. You're going to be connecting to your intuition, to that inner guru, right? Learning to trust in what you believe that is right and what you believe that is true. And guess what's your second card? Boy, are we being tested with that on this journey until we learn. Until we learn to release and to trust. The universe knows better. And I always say this to you guys. Impatience comes from a place of ego. Urgency comes from a place of ego. We think that we know better when and how we're supposed to get certain things. We question the judgment of Father Universe. And also on this journey, we question the judgment of their masculine, because it's your masculine that holds the key to the when and the how. It's not us. It's the job of a masculine. Now we have two sort of pairings, right? So it's beautiful. So you're going to be working on these things definitely. So we have a shadow of resentment, Okay, number 69, shadow of resentment. 6 of the 9, 9th of the 6, maybe that's important. And we also have cleanse, okay, which is making me feel like they will be pushing you to cleanse any feelings of resentment that you have towards your masculine. And if you guys watch me, I kind of don't want to go into like a whole, crash course from divine love, because we would be here for hours. I always, if you find this, if you know you're on a journey, I always say this to you guys, go ahead and watch my masterclass that's available free on YouTube. Make sure you are on a journey, because otherwise this advice is nonsense and it's completely not valid, right? So I always say this to you guys, at least once before you dive in, at least once go to a psychic, medium, divine, feminine, someone who is meant to work with divines, who is meant to know and see and confirm, see into your contract, see into your cords and confirm, yes, you are in fact on a journey. You would be surprised, but 90% of women who think they're on a journey, they're connected to a karmic connection, right? And then all this advice is really confusing and is really irrelevant, and it can only cause harm. But and it's not going to make sense. But there may be some resentment. I want to read through this card to you. And there are things that they do to us, right? They cause us pain. And when we're not yet understanding fully and embodying the understanding that this is meant to be, that it's a karmic contract, that we're just reflecting, they're just reflection, right? We may hold some resentment. And if we don't let go of that, it can really push the feminine into a wrong direction on this journey. Resentment is created when we are unable to process and let go of challenging emotions that arise in relationships. We hold grudges, allowing hurt, frustration, and disappointment to build up into bitterness and anger. We become resentful when we are unable to see opportunities to learn and grow through challenging emotions. We feel we have been disrespected and treated unfairly, not seeing our own part in the situation. When we heal, we learn to connect the dots between emotions and shadows that exist within us. We become accountable for allowing painful situations in our life, and through this self-awareness, we are able to forgive and let go with peace. What I'm hearing as well is there's a moment on this journey as we start to get out of this pain. It may hit you next year. As you start to get out of this worst pain, you start to awaken, your kundalini rises, you start to understand that it's going to be a journey, you have to tap into certain things. We don't achieve balance immediately. We first go into that dark feminine, right? That Kali needs to awaken within us to be like, no, I am not going to be your toy. I am not going to be a doormat, right? The power has to rise within us, right? And we go into that dark feminine. And oftentimes resentment, vengeance, and those kind of emotions, that they come forth and we need to deal with them, right? And from the darkness we go into the side of light. And I usually say this to you guys, we become too much compassion, without that boundary, and then we go into the proper balance. But I'm hearing with this resentment as well that you may be as well tested, and not just with your masculine, but in different situations. Make sure you don't hold grudges. Make sure you don't hold on to difficult emotions. If someone is causing hurtful emotions, difficult emotions within you, feel them, process them, allow them, right? And then let them go. Don't hold for that resentment. And the other pairing that you have longing and you have balance, right? So next year, you having that, you will be in longing. It's impossible, you guys. And I always say this to you, the best of us, the most powerful of us, the strongest lineages, the biggest missions, it's impossible to get rid of longing and conquering this journey in like a year or two from the moment it started. It's just because you have to reprogram. It's a full system reboot on the level of a mind, physical body, soul clearance, right? So to really clear out the mind, the conditioning, all the system of beliefs that was being built within you for all those years. And many of us, we are dormant vessels. So we are awakened to this journey like in our 30s or sometimes in our 40s. I don't know why I keep hearing that 38. So maybe that's important for a reason, or maybe you are, for some of you are 38. So it's impossible. So you will be in longing. But the thing is just to balance that longing, understanding what that longing is. Longing comes from lack. It doesn't come from the fact that you love your masculine. Trust me. Because when you are in your divine feminine, you love him every day. And when you're still in separation, you love him every day. And you love him so much. Your heart is filled with love that it's like overflowing you, right? But you don't long. Because true love is always, well, you long for what? Things in the physical? You transcend the physical. Right? So it always comes from lack. When we need something, crave something, desperately seek for something, it's because it doesn't exist within us. Our ego convinces us it's easier to search for it externally, not knowing what the most real and profound fulfillment can only be found within our soul. Nothing we lack internally can ever be found externally and fill the void we feel within. We cannot find love, happiness, fulfillment, or joy if we haven't learned to alchemize those emotions on the level of self. Until it exists within us, we won't be able to recognize it, accept it, or even attract it. When we heal, we understand that all we need resides within. We embody wholeness and sovereignty of our soul. We start to seek freedom and real soul connections. I feel you, it's like there's a part of you that knows this, but maybe you're still thinking that the reason you long is because the bond is so strong. It's not. It's not the reason. Trust me, you're going to have to trust me on this one. When we long for them, and the divine feminine, the years after activation, we long for our masculine so strong that we feel this pain in our body. We feel this pain in our body. That we miss him. It feels like we just discovered that we have this beautiful gem in the center of our heart and someone ripped it away from our chest and taken it away. It's this emptiness that makes you want to scream and cry. It's like you cannot breathe. But not just like in songs, like I cannot breathe without, you literally cannot breathe. We have very dark thoughts. Many of us wants to return home and end this whole journey, right? And especially if in past lifetime you've done that because of your masculine, because it's another thing that we have to clear lifetimes that we've lived together. It feels like we cannot breathe, we cannot go on. It's like he's everywhere in our energy. We cannot breathe easy, we cannot rest, we cannot sleep. It's horrible, and we think that this is because the connection is so strong. No, it's not. It's the wounding, it's the lack of self-love, lack of divinity. Once you find that, once you stand in your power, once you integrate all your shadows, all that is left is love. There's no resentment towards your masculine. There's no expectations. All that is love for who he is purely, in his soul, in his ego, in all his lifetimes, in all his essence. Love. Love, love, love. Love is all that is in the air. And you don't need him in the physical to find happiness within that love that you yourself have alchemized, right? All right. Let's do some tarot. The ruling energy for next year. We have some beautiful cards. Okay, I'm loving that for you. So we have Justice. We have Justice cards. That's also on top of your intuition. But it's really beautiful, you guys, because this would be, if you awaken that past year, 2026 is going to be your second year on a journey. I feel like despite whatever you will think, right, you're going to conquer it quite fast, this collective, right? And keep in mind that and it's not always about how we approach. Somehow sometimes it is, right? But sometimes it's just a divine timing that we cannot skip. But some pairings are in separation for 6, 8, 10 years, right? But sometimes when our mission is very important, we're really being pushed, and we usually it's those of us that we feel the push. We feel the push. It's like, I have to do it. I have to do it every day. I have to do the shadow work every day, right? So usually the feminists that postpone the healing, the sessions, they take it like more, right? Or in and out in the beginning, right? It's usually because